Hello everyone, this is Commander Daniels, reporting again, ready to lead the XCom resistance against the alien occupiers and their Vici puppet government. Now, before I get into the episode itself proper, wish I could turn off that check there. Anyway, before I get into the episode proper, I just have one thing that I'd like to show off here. Saw that one of my fleet mates from STO, who I also play Worlds of Warships with, ended up subscribing to the channel. As such, along with bringing in a character for Callan McLeod, another longtime fleet member and friend, I would like to introduce to Grove Spaghetti, call sign French. Here you go, Grove. All for you. Hope you enjoy. I'm sure you're going to have all sorts of very interesting words for me before long. However, now that that's done, let's go ahead and get back where we left off after the end of the prior episode. Yes, I know there are a lot of other autosaves here. There was a bit of an issue with me trying to record this episode once already. Luckily, that's why I have multiple save games. So, well, it's not even multiple. It's just one save game and then autosaves. Regardless. Don't have to completely start over from scratch or figure out some way to cover what I missed. And now, welcome to the Anthill. This is called the Anthill because from this viewpoint it kind of looks like, well, sorry, not an anthill, ant farm. Because from this view, it kind of looks like an ant farm, complete with being able to scroll over, zoom in close, and oh, look, we got a couple people sitting at the bar, sucking down some drinks, getting ready for that rookie accuracy. We'll be meeting you in short order. But first, let's go ahead and get all the rest of the introductory stuff out of the way. Although, just for the first thing, this is the Resistance base. Now, I know it kind of looks weird, like why would you have the base set up on these landing legs like this? Because those actually are landing legs. This base is actually a full-on ship. If you were to do the tutorial all the way through, including not just the first, but the second mission where it holds your hand the entire way, you actually get a pretty cool cutscene of the Avenger lifting off for the first time. But if people want me to go through and actually do that, to have that included in the playlist for completion's sake, I'll make it happen. Otherwise, I'm not going to worry myself about it too much. But let's get the rest of the introductory stuff over. I'm going to actually shut up this time for the cutscenes, mostly. But let's go to the research lab.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology. Commander. Dr. Richard Tigan, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
So yes, this is Dr. Tigan, head research scientist for the Resistance, a defector from Advent. He basically saw what Advent was doing to humanity, managed to piece together that what they were doing was going to lead to all sorts of bad things for humanity, though not specifically what their end goal was. And as such, he decided, screw this noise, I'm out. Which, though we can't really see it here, there's a scar on the back of his head where he actually had a chip in the back of his head himself. He didn't have anyone that he could trust that was skilled enough to try to remove it, so he performed surgery on himself to remove a chip that was implanted into his brain. That's pretty hardcore. Probably also has something to do with his very unique conversational cadence. But you generally don't want to chap off the guy who's going to be poking around in your brain. Great job, Ivan. Great job. Okay, that's right. Yeah, need to assign research. Alright, so, research screen. This is telling me what different things I can research, what it's going to kind of give an overview to give you an idea of what it's going to provide, and the time to complete. And so we have modular weapons, we have alien biotech, and we have hybrid materials. Now, modular weapons, alien biotech, those only take time. With alien biotech itself taking 5 days, which is noted in yellow because that's going to be progressing at a normal rate, not a fast rate. If it's red, it means it's progressing at a slow rate. Considering that the Resistance is starting off with less advanced technology than Advent, we are behind the technology curve. As we progress, or as time passes in the campaign, and this is in part based on the difficulty as well, the aliens start fielding more and more advanced troops, both for the Advent forces and for the aliens themselves. If you don't keep up with the technology curve, you will find yourself having a harder and harder time. I'm sure there's someone out there who has actually completed the entire campaign only using the basic weapons from the get-go, and only researching what they absolutely had to in order to progress the story. I don't care to do that. I want my toys. I want my squaddies to have the best and the brightest and the biggest booms that can be boomed. But in order to do that, we have to get Tigan, calling him Tyvan. This is not the annoying Romulan named bridge officer from STO. This is the awesome scientist that I am so glad that you put everything in my brain back together the way it was. Though I have noticed that my right hand and my left hand seem to be a little swapped around. But I'll adjust. No worries. Anyway. Modular weapons, alien biotech, both only take time. Hybrid materials. This actually not only takes time, it takes Advent Trooper corpses. I noted at the end of the last episode that some of the things that we gathered at the end of the mission were the dead bodies of the Advent Troopers. We weren't collecting those just to make some sort of macabre museum. No, we need those corpses in order to actually complete some researches. And as we progress through, depending on each time that we get a new enemy coming up, we'll actually be able to do autopsies, which will give us additional information about them and additional technologies. So, stealing the dead bodies of the enemies does have a purpose. Anyway, so the main choices here really are to do modular weapons or to do hybrid materials. This is going to lead into better armor. This is going to lead into better weapons. For the moment, I'm going to go with better weapons.
I do find that area of research to be among the more intriguing options available.
We'll begin work immediately. I'll send word when a complete report is available.
Yes, thank you very
Commander
much.
to engineering.
Always something. Anyway, the third option for the research was to do alien
The
biotech.
Advent propaganda machine is running full steam. We're picking up their transmissions even way out in the middle of nowhere.
Thank you, Bradford. Anyway, the third option that I could have done for the research, alien biotech, what that is going to do is that is going to advance the story. I will have to research it to continue to get the gear and the technology necessary to progress in the story, which will also give me the gear and the tech necessary to help with fighting Advent's long-term goal. But for the moment, I want the better weapons first. Now, let's head over to engineering, meet another member of the senior staff.
Okay, reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
So yes, this here is engineering, which is headed up by Lily Shin, daughter of Chief Engineer Shin, who was a character in the prior XCom game. One of my favorite characters from the game overall. Really, really cool when you get down to it. So yeah, let's shed a tear for the late Chief Engineer Shin. Anyway, so from here, this is where we are going to be able to build build items and to build facilities for the items for my troops and facilities for the overall ant farm.
There's room for us to expand our facilities on board the Avenger, Commander, but we'll need more engineers to clear out space for construction first.
Ooh, that's kind of, it's not bad, but that's gonna be a little annoying. Okay, anyway, so this is where we actually get to build the different facilities that we need in order to continue taking the fight to Advent. Can't build a facility where there's a lot of debris set up, and we're starting here, and we have to actually clear out the debris as we go. This is mirroring how in Enemy Within, you had a similar ant farm setup, though you had one central elevator shaft, and then I think it was 4 spaces to either side of the central shaft, and 3 spaces either side of the central shaft, and 4 straight down. And so you would have to actually clear out room for your for making your buildings as you went along. Now in Enemy Within, you were literally just digging in dirt. You'd also occasionally have other things that were in there, or some special spaces in the ant farm that could give you some extra benefit, but by and large, you didn't really get much of anything from actually digging through. It was just a straight up cost, both in time and in money. here, when you clear out a room full of debris or full of machinery or full of whatever, you actually will get a reward. Or, it's not so much that you're just shoveling out dirt, it's you're sorting through the junk and making sure that,
Commander, I'm going to need more help on the engineering team before I can start clearing out some of these other rooms. We should recruit an engineer.
Right, yes. Thank you, Shin. Anyway, so it wouldn't be that this is all trash that you get shoveled out to be able to build in here. You go in, you're actually going in, you're able to see what you can salvage from all of this mess. So, as such, you get some supplies. But we can't do that yet because we don't have any engineers or scientists. All we have are a handful of rookies. We're technically, well, I suppose you would need an engineer to supervise to say, keep this, that's trash, don't touch that exposed power line. Speaking of exposed power lines, we have 2 exposed power core rooms in our layout here. The exact layout is randomized, including what the rewards are, though. You get, small reward at this first level, second reward, moderate reward second, bigger reward here, and then the bottom row gives you the most. However, these exposed power cores, after you clear them out, you can either A, build a power generating source in this room, which gives you extra power, or you can build a room on this exposed power cell, and then it doesn't drain any power. For example, here, we have a power, we can build a power relay. This gives us 3 power, costs 80 supplies, takes 12 days to build. We could build a laboratory, which costs 125 supplies, but takes 3 power. Workshop only takes 1 power, 125 supplies, and then we have the Guerrilla Tactics School. Costs the least supplies, but actually takes 3 power as well. Up here in the upper right, we see the power, which is I think it's power available, power total. It might be power consumed, power total. But either way, if we don't have enough power to support a room, we can't build it, and we can't click on a room once it's built and say stop drawing power, because it's still integrated into the ship. So we have to balance our power, we have to balance our supplies. And this is the monthly income. I'll explain that once we get to the geoscape. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and say start building the Guerrilla Tactics.
We'll start work on the new facility right away, Commander. I'll send word when it's up and running.
The Guerrilla Tactics tool will allow for us to unlock additional benefits for our squads and our troops, depending on what our highest ranking trooper is, which will include things like a squad size increase. Actually, 2 separate squad size increases. That's very handy. You go from having 4 troops in the squad to 5 troops to finally 6 troops. That's 50% more overall firepower. That's having 2 more people around they can use to set up ambushes and to lay down fire, and to have skills to be carrying equipment and whatnot. You can also get things like increasing the chance that when someone has their HP depleted, they don't die but go into a bleeding out state. Increasing XP that you get from completing missions, XP that you get from getting kills, so on and so forth. The XP is pretty much how it calculates whether a trooper gets a promotion or not. Speaking of equipment,
You'd be surprised how big of a difference some of these things can make in combat, Commander. With a few supplies, I can manufacture anything we need in no time.
right, thank you, Shin. So, this is also where we will build any items that we research. Just because we research how to make something doesn't mean that we can make something. Although I think that some of the more specialized items at the far end of the tech tree we have to build from another facility that we make. But for, you know, any weapon improvements, for any armor improvements that we get, we're coming here. Now we have a couple of different items here that we can build initially. Flashbang grenade, a med kit, and a smoke grenade. Med kit. It's a med kit. It heals people. People are going to get hurt, unfortunately. Even if you run everything as perfect as possible, it is going to be functionally impossible to, throughout the entire campaign, completely mitigate any chance for anyone to get wounded. If no one were to get wounded somehow by some miracle, I would be amazed, because of the exceedingly low probability. But you carry a medkit, you can, I think it has 1 or 2 charges by base, and so you have to have a trooper carrying the medkit. But when they're carrying it, then what that means is if somebody gets wounded, you can have that trooper run up and heal them by spraying the medkit goo on them. Medkit goo, medkit mist, whatever. So we definitely want a med smoke grenade. This doesn't work like smoke grenades in other games, in that it's not a line of sight blocker. You aren't using it to mark targets. What you do is, when you throw a smoke grenade, anyone who is within the smoke cloud is getting a defense boost. Allies or enemies. So you want to be a little careful using these around enemies that charge into melee, because it's a little embarrassing to have it where you toss out a smoke cloud to keep your troops safe, and then you have a melee unit, an enemy melee unit, rush up, and now you can't shoot them to kill them because they're in your smoke, and it's increasing their defense. But we'll grab one of those, and we don't have enough to get a flashbang. Shucks. Oh well, let's do that later. The flashbang, what that does is it will actually disorient people. You know, so it's basically acting like a flashbang does in real life, in Call of Duty, in Rainbow Six. You throw it out, you pull the pin, you throw it out, it goes off with a loud flash, and a bright flash and a loud bang. A loud flash and a bright bang. That disoriented state will remove things like suppression, and will remove things like Overwatch. So if you have several people on Overwatch on your troops, and you have a wounded squad that you need to get out, or you just need to move from where you're standing in the open, if you take whoever has one of these, toss it out there, and at least now you can move everyone but the person who tossed the grenade. Not ideal, but it can be a bit of a lifesaver. Plus, we're going to run into enemies called sectoids, which are still early game enemies, though not quite of the same cannon fodder level from the prior games, or prior game. But they can do this nasty little thing where they can mind control your units. So if they try to mind control a unit, and your unit does not pass the will save, they will now be fighting for the aliens for a set number of turns. I forget exactly how many it is, but anything more than 1 or anything more than 0 is not fun. So if you have a sectoid that has mind control somebody and you can flashbang them, provided they didn't mind control the person with the flashbang, that I believe that will actually break the mind control. Also, sectoids can, if they have any dead advent trooper corpses nearby, because you shot a advent patrol, the sectoids can actually use their mental powers to control the dead body, effectively making them like a zombie. The flashbangs will also break their concentration, and the zombie will drop without you having to
I wonder if this is what it
shoot
was
them.
like in the old days. Always on edge, ready for a fight on a moment's notice. Certainly keeps you on your toes.
Yes, quite. The living quarters here, that just gives you an easy way to look over your engineer, scientist, and soldier rosters at a glance?
Well, aside from us getting this ship up and running, which was mostly Dr. Shen's work, I haven't felt particularly useful in a long time. I'm more than happy to leave the hard decisions to the commander.
Dadgummit, Bradford, don't sneak up on me like that. But, okay, aside from being able to look at all of your roster at a glance, again, including the scientist, engineer, and soldier rosters, there's not much to the living quarters. Commander's quarters gives you the ability to look over the status of the Avenger, including how much power you're generating, what research is going on, how much power is being consumed, and where things are constructed, what their status is. So if once the guerrilla tactics school is built, if someone is training in there, they'll say training whomever 4 days or however long, and the research tells you how long. And just from looking up here, this is telling you soldiers available, soldiers wounded, soldiers unavailable. And unavailable also includes if they're training at the guerrilla tactics school or the advanced warfare center, or I think getting trained in psionics. You can also look to see what the present. Oh, and had my computer have a bit of a hiccup there. You get that fixed. But yes, the this brings up the objective screen for what our current objective is. This isn't shown up yet because we haven't actually gotten to where the objectives would show up. That's going to come, I think, after we get our first actual mission. And then we can go look at the archives, which give some things that are just basically expanding on the lore of the game. Talking about what XCom is historically, what Advent is, what the Advent Network Tower is, talking about the propaganda, but then also looking down here at things that are explaining about the gameplay mechanics. Yeah, personnel dossiers, etc. Raymond Shin, that's right. Dr. Valen. Sorry, not Valen. Valen. She really came off as a borderline sociopath. She got way too excited about carving up all the different aliens. But that had something. What was that about? It doesn't have anything in there about why she's called Lily Ani Shin. I'm sure there's probably some reference based off of whatever country Shin or whatever ethnicity Shin is supposed to be, whatever his heritage is, but I don't speak enough of any of those languages to even come close to being able to pick out what that might refer to. Someone knows, by all means. I would love to learn. Though, source your statements. Alright, over here we have the armory. This gives us the ability to go recruit more troopers. Though that recruiting them like this costs supplies. And these are also all going to come as rookies. Excuse me. Rookies are the lowest rank, and as such have the worst stats and don't have any additional skills. But you always have to start somewhere, and it's kind of neat that they have their different country of origin auto-generated. Different little backstories made. You always read that for some little bit of interest. Now, you have the memorial, which is actually down here.
We've done what we can to honor our fallen soldiers, Commander. It's not much, but it gives our people a chance to pay their respects.
Down here is the bar, which has the memorial wall. Right now, it's empty because, thankfully, nobody's died. as people die, those picture frames will get added, will get filled up. You'll see more and more little mementos left along the ledge there, and it's generally supposed to be a sobering reminder of the cost of fighting for humanity. The goal is keep that wall as empty as possible. But this is XCom. We'll see how well that goes. And then here's the soldier list. Tells us their name, we have their rank, their class, and then their status. So we can sort by any of these. So if we're needing to look at all the rangers, we can sort by class, and all the rangers will be clumped together. I believe it'll still be sorted by rank, or it'll be sorted by class, then by rank. So you can look to see who your highest ranking trooper is, then your second highest, so on. Remember, the higher the rank of your trooper in whatever class will the more skills that they will have. And so yeah, we have these 4 people right now, and I do not know what that particular flag is. Belgium. Well, Rookie Leroy, you look way too happy for yourself. You've been smoking something strong there, buddy? Yeah, probably. Whatever. As long as you can still shoot straight on the mission. I don't care. But from here, you can pull up the different your different troopers and go ahead and even preemptively get them loaded out. Now, one thing to note is everyone has the same basic inventory structure, though a few changes, like the Grenadier gets a grenade launcher and a minigun. And they also get an extra grenade slot that can only be used for carrying grenades. That does, however, include the utility grenades, not just frag grenades. Now, all these other utility items, like frag grenades, has an infinity symbol right here. It means that no matter how many rookies or squaddies I have, they will always at least be able to carry a frag grenade, even if there's no other pieces of equipment available. Smoke grenade has a little X1 down here. What that does not mean is if I use a smoke grenade on the mission, I don't have to build another one to replace it. But what it does mean is I can't have Asinta here, I can't have Krieger here carrying a smoke grenade, and have Olga Crumb also carrying one, because I only have the one smoke grenade. Now, Olga, you're gonna get the med kit. See here. Hang. You get the smoke grenade. Now, the Ranger, like I said, they get a, they get a sword to use for their, use in close combat. If you don't spec or specialize skill-wise for them in the swords, it's a lot of times better to use the shotgun, but there are still skills that will do things like when they, if somebody moves adjacent to them, or somebody moves through a square adjacent to them, your Rangers will get a free attack with the sword if they are not still in concealment. They're also the ones that get the shotgun. Shotgun has much shorter range, but it does more damage than the assault rifle, and it has an increased crit chance. So it has a chance to do that 50 to 100% extra damage. Let's see here. So the Ranger gets the sword, specialist gets the gremlin, sharpshooter gets the hand cannon, and the grenadier gets the grenade launcher. And so you can get, so basically it's always nice to go ahead and get your troops reloaded.
Commander, good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry. Not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back. Resources and time are tight, Commander. It'll be up to you to decide how to best use both. The ship is yours.
And that there was
While we
Officer.
prepare for new operations and continue our research, we can pass time by scanning at sites like this one. On your order, we'll start our scans on the surrounding area.
Commander, one of our resistance contacts just tipped us off to a site that may be worth investigating.
Thank you, Officer Bradford. That's Officer Bradford, codename Central. He's also a he's also in the prior game in the same capacity, and so it's kind of nice that they have that bit of continuity there. Now this is the geoscape. So you have the whole world map here: Africa, Europe, Eurasian continent, Middle East, India, so on, so on, so on. Oh, look, it's the glorious Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Still no lights there. Go figure. Anyway. So, this is the geoscape. This is where you try to take care of the strategic operation of coordinating and building the resistance to fight against Advent and the alien occupiers. Now, what you'll do with these sort of things that you can that was where they were saying to scan for items, you fly out to points of interest, and if you spend the requisite time as noted there, or as noted for the point of interest itself, you can get the
Avengers plotting
indicated
new
result.
course.
In this case, we are scanning for a destroyed convoy, or scanning a destroyed convoy.
Commander, the Avengers' remote scanning capabilities will help us search the area for clues or other resources. It's going to take some time, though. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
Right. So you click on the point of interest, your entire base will actually fly over, and then you can scan the area and get the results as long as you spend enough time. If you don't get to these points of interest soon enough, they will disappear. I don't know what the exact time is for how long that takes, but it's fairly gracious. Now, if I were to want to try to buy or hire, depending on how you want to look at it, things like engineers or scientists, I actually do have to fly back to, I think, the Resistance HQ itself. Or if I had no points of interest, I can always sit at the Resistance HQ and scan for intel. Intel which is then used for various things, much in the same way that the supplies are used for building items and making building facilities on the Avenger. But for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and scan. Unfortunately, I had actually already...
The outcome of this research can only further our advances, Commander.
I had been trying to record this episode earlier, and I thought that it was recording. Found out as I got about 40 minutes in that I hadn't been recording. That was somewhat frustrating, especially because this first point of interest I got before, I actually would have gotten two rookies. Two rookies I wouldn't have had to pay for. Now, again, okay, yes, rookies are borderline useless in combat, but I'm still going to need a bunch of them. I'm also going to try to cycle through the troops that I have, so I don't have 4 or 5 highly trained troops, and everyone else couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside with a minigun. People who could miss so heartily that they couldn't hit the ground beneath them. Anyway, let's go back to the research lab, read the report, and then assign some new research. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just sit and pause for a few moments so that if anyone wishes to read the report, they can, without having to scramble and to play with the pausing the video at just the right time so I can actually see what the report says. Reverse engineer system, blah blah blah. And now we can use any upgrades that we have, any weapon upgrades that we have actually managed to find in the field, or, well, I think that the weapon upgrades, you only find them in the field, or later on you're able to buy them. And now we have unlocked magnetic weapons. That's very nice. That means that we can actually, after we research this, we can upgrade our arsenal to where we are on parity with the Advent troopers, at least. I mean, okay, we aren't surpassing them, but we are at least at parity. Gotta take what you can get. However, it takes 28 days, 4 weeks. I'm not going to go and jump straight into that just yet. Instead, I'm going to hop over to assign them to make hybrid materials, or research into hybrid materials.
I had assumed you'd make that research a priority, Commander. I'll notify you as soon as the report is available.
Yes. So, we'll research into hybrid materials, which will lead into better armor.
Strategic resource located.
Okay, well, we got some more supplies from scavenging an already destroyed Advent convoy. So whoever hit the convoy, either they weren't interested in the supplies,
Setting course for Sector 10, Eastern United States.
they had to bug out before they could fully secure the site. Oh, here we go. Now we have the chance to actually get some rookies.
Avenger plotting new course.
Now, if you were to actually research or start scanning something, and it pops up saying, oh, hey, there's another point of interest over here, and it feels like it's important enough to go get the other point of interest, especially if that other one is giving, like, a scientist, or giving some, an engineer, or, I don't know, maybe some Illyrium, or alien alloys. It can be beneficial to go ahead and stop scanning on one point of interest and go to the other one immediately. You do not lose your progress on the point of interest if you end up doing that. So the same thing for if you end up having it where a mission pops up as you're 3/4 of the way scanned through, but you don't want to risk scanning the rest of the way in case the mission disappears. Don't worry, you can leave what you're scanning, come back, and you're basically picking up where you left off. Same thing for the research lab. If you start researching something that's going to take a while, and then it pops up that you need to research something else or change research gears, you're not going to lose any time by changing. It's just going to pause the research where it's at, and then when you come back after doing whatever else you have to do, then you pick up right where you left off, which makes a bit of sense because scientists aren't going to tear up their notes just because you tell them to stop research something for this precise moment, because you have to shift them over to a different priority. I mean, I could see somebody implementing something where you have a slight research time loss, so you don't just bounce back and forth between different researches like a ping pong ball. But I digress. Now, I mentioned the monthly income here. the way that works is once a month we have a supply drop, or once every 30 days, once every 40 days, something like that. We end up getting a supply drop. That supply drop has the our resource income for that month or for that period, and it'll be dropped somewhere nearby to the Sky Ranger. Not the Sky Ranger, the Avenger. So we'll actually have to fly over to scan for and to secure the supply drop before going back and doing whatever else. Makes it a little more interesting than in prior XCom games, where at the end of each month you would just get a report saying, here were our expenditures, here is what we are currently getting from all the various nations who haven't capitulated yet, and so here's our net gain or our net loss. But enough about that. Time to scan to get us some rookies.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
That's very nice, Daigen. Alright, same thing. Waiting a few seconds. Alright. If I'm not giving enough time to make it easy to pause, again, just make a note in the comments, please, and I'll try to improve from there. Okay. Having researched the research hybrid materials, now we have the ability to research plated armor. But to research this, it costs alien alloys, and we don't have any alien alloys. Hopefully we'll be able to get some from a mission or from some other source, because getting better armor, keeping the troops alive, that's always a good thing. Now, I could research alien biotech, or I could research magnetic weapons. I'm actually going to do magnetic weapons for right now because I don't want to get the alien biotech and progress on the story too much at this moment. So,
I foresee a number of valuable applications stemming from this technology. Yeah. I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
Yeah. Got it there, Skippy. Now, you really don't want to leave your research lab idle if you can help it. And now that
You've done a hell of a job keeping this ship together, Doctor.
It's all we've got. And I know the aliens aren't happy about losing one of their own.
I doubt they thought anyone could get this heap airborne again.
I'm more than happy to prove them wrong. Commander?
Yes, quite nice. Anyway, now that I got some more supplies from scavenging at that convoy, I'm going to go ahead and build a flashbang so I have that.
I've been digging through some of the old data files Central has been holding on to since before the war. I keep running across notes scrawled in English and what looks like broken German. I should probably ask him about it.
Right, anyway. So, I wanted to make sure that I built that flashbang so that I don't forget before I go into battle and, or send my troops off on a mission and then have to facepalm. I'm actually going to give the flashbang over to the Grenadier because this grenade launcher works for all grenade types. Regular grenades, flashbang grenades, smoke grenades. I think there's later you can get alien grenades or plasma grenades or some such. But the grenade launcher allows you to throw to get the grenade put out there farther than someone can throw it with just their arm. Yay for using tools. Anyway, back to scanning.
Commander, as the resistance continues to grow, we'll have a better chance of finding openings to strike back at Advent. As it is, we've already identified a potential target to disrupt the aliens' operations in this region. Our window of opportunity is limited, so we'll have to move fast.
Okay, and this is basically how the game more or less progresses. You go out, you do an operation, you run the operation on the tactical map, succeed, fail, extract, get left behind, what have you. After that, you go back to the strategic view of managing your base and managing the geoscape. and then you are basically going around and doing stuff on the geoscape and in your base until another operation or another series of operations pops up. Now later on, they'll give us 2 and 3 operations that we can choose from, but we can't do them all. So we have to be selective in what we're picking. Again, always risk reward, always benefits and detriments, always trade-offs. And so you're having to leverage the trade-offs to make sure that you are minimizing your weaknesses and maximizing your strengths. Okay, this is going to be a protect the device. The last one that I got to before I realized or found out that I actually wasn't recording was a destroy the device. This is a protect the device. This one's probably going to be a little dicey. Like I said in the last episode, very few of the missions are completely lacking a timer. Most of them actually have a timer, save for a handful of the longer story missions where putting a timer on top of things as well would just be making it all but impossible. This is one that doesn't actually have a timer that I can remember, or at least not an official formal timer. What it does have is there's a relay, it's a server, it's something that we're having to, this actually belongs to XCom or belongs to the Resistance, that Advent and the aliens are trying to destroy. So there's not an actual timer that says you have 7 turns to finish this before mission over, or you have 7 turns to shut this down before you before the data is wiped. You have 5 turns to get over here and disable the explosives on this crate, otherwise the crate with its intel explodes. No, we don't have an actual timer for protecting the device. What we do have is the device has a set amount of hit points. So how many turns we have left is going to be dependent on how many Advent and how many aliens are close to the device initially and able to start laying fire on it. Now, we are also being given a difficulty rating and being told what the reward is. The difficulty rating, you should probably just disregard that unless you have 2 missions that have the same reward and have the same detriment for if you don't complete them, or if it's similar detriments. At that point, then if you're wanting to complete one of the 2 of them, I'd probably almost just go with saying whichever one is easier. But otherwise, you want to look at the reward. You want to look at, this is going to come in later, what the penalty is for not doing this particular mission. The way it was in XCOM Enemy Within and Enemy Unknown was you'd have it pop up where you had 1 or at first 1, just kind of get you introduced to how how the geoscape works and how you have to take missions. Then 2 for a couple of iterations. Then finally 3 missions. The detriment in Enemy Within and Enemy Unknown for not completing a mission was it would raise the panic level in the country or in the region where that mission was located. So you would have to look and say, I really would like the reward for doing this mission over here in South America, but if I do that, Africa, let's just say Congo or South Africa, is going to panic and potentially withdraw from the XCOM project. That's not a good thing. Still, that was just what the trade-off there was. Here, because there's no countries to withdraw, everything's controlled by Advent, and we're a guerrilla resistance, they had to introduce some detriments, though that doesn't come until you get a few months into the game.
Setting course for Eastern United States.
So, let's see about protecting or getting this taken care of. Back to the Eastern Seaboard. Now, I know they said that I was willing to cycle through and take rookies along as well, so I don't have a small cadre of highly skilled troops and then bevy of people who couldn't find their butt with both hands, a map, and a compass. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and just take the same team as last time. Mostly because I want to have one of each of the different bodies.
In position for deployment.
And if things go well before the next mission, I may actually be able to have the squad size increase.
Word has it the Resistance has been pulling data,
which would allow for me to have all my
the Advent network using something they rigged up in this area. As far as we can tell, the aliens have figured out what's going on and they're sending reinforcements in to destroy the device. We're moving in to secure the area and protect the device before they manage to take it out.
Right. What I was saying is, if everything goes well, I might be able to get the first squad size upgrade, which will allow for me to go on to the next mission with all 4 of my experienced troops and a rookie. But we shall see. Alright, neutralize enemy targets, secure and protect the transmitter. So this is going in. We're going to have to bounce any enemy forces that are attacking the transmitter or moving to attack the transmitter. Clear the area and then deal with any
hostile forces are already moving to destroy the data tap installed nearby. We need to lock down the area and secure the device at all costs.
Now, for this one, we do still drop in concealment, and the data transmitter does give some sightline. So we see we have one Advent trooper here, and you look. This here's the health bar. Each of those segments is 1 HP, so it's something like 30 hit points. So especially early game, it's not too bad. Okay, and and here's something you also need to watch out for. If you go, if you aren't careful with how you have your troops move around, you can very readily end up giving your position away by accidentally telling them to move through a window or move through a door. And if you tell your troops to move through an opening like that, they will just run up and go diving through the window, or they will run up to the door, kick it open, and keep on running. Well, if they kick it open, it makes a lot of noise, which then makes it to where your cover is blown at that point. So you can instead run up and open the door. So we're starting off on this little red series of red lines that's indicating the edge of the map. So that's a Advent checkpoint building there. That's a bit of a way to go. Almost looks like this is that's a church. Yeah, mop bucket. Looks like they got a cemetery over here, so that could give us some decent cover to approach from, but Advent forces are also already in there. So I suppose what I need to do is move up.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Now I can actually open the door, which you open the door by left-clicking on it, or by using the handy open close door button, which is also nice because now you can close the door after you open it, and you're not. So you can open the door, look through, see there's somebody in there that you want to still approach and be hidden from. You close the door again. Though you'd have to be careful with standing right in front of the door like I did here, but because this was a wire, chain link door, you can already see through it. No big deal.
Moving on target location.
Alright. Transformers. Alright, so I got Kellen Murphy up. Sharpshooter. Also one that has squad sight, so you can actually stay a little farther back without being quite as much a
Our
detriment.
gremlin can attempt to access the Advent network from here. We might be able to hack their systems and get an advantage. But be careful. If they detect us, things will only get worse.
Yeah, I'm going to try to hack that just for the sake of once showing y'all what it looks like. But also, secondary thing there is when you hack an enemy system, it is going to give you a bit of an ability to... you're going to get two different choices when you hack a system. One is going to be a minor benefit, the other is going to be a major benefit. The minor benefit has a higher chance of occurring based off of the soldier's hacking ability, and the level of gremlin that you have will also increase the level of your soldier's hacking ability. And that's going to be compared against the hacking difficulty of the
solid copy
for the particular benefit.
Move.
So you have a minor benefit that has a higher chance to succeed, and then a major benefit that has a...
Although they bear some resemblance to the sectoids first encountered during the invasion, their genetic structure now includes human DNA. They are stronger than ever, with an even greater psionic potential.
You have a minor benefit that has
Position
a
confirmed.
higher chance of success, and then a major benefit that has a lower chance of success. However,
I'll take a look.
the minor benefit penalty for failure is going to be lower, or a lesser detriment than the one associated with the higher chance of failure. Neither of those is really good for right this second. Defense and mobility boost, 54%. Yeah. Now here's... Okay, it's the same detriment no matter what if you fail. It's just that you have a... like here, the minor benefit, though that's a pretty strong one, has a 46% chance to succeed. But the major one, which is gain complete immunity from the next 2 attacks, oh, that's amazing. That means you can basically treat your soldier like they're Rambo. Or, if somebody's out there on Overwatch, you don't have to worry about the Overwatch, because each, first two attacks will just completely, or won't do anything. However, if you don't like the chances for anything, or you feel that the detriment is too severe to even risk, you don't have to do the hack. And just going and looking doesn't use up your turn. Alright. Another thing, the sharpshooter. They cannot move and fire their rifle on the same turn. They have to they do have to go and get set up in order to be able to use the rifle. I don't quite have enough ability to get there like that. No. Let's see here, and you can't see anything there anyway. Move up to here.
That's affirmative.
Ooh, we got a nice shot on the sectoid. Not as nice of a shot on the trooper. Here's what I'm gonna do.
Eyes on
Get
the
on
prize.
Overwatch.
Affirmative, covering
Overwatch
now.
for you. I'm gonna get you moved up a little bit more
On the move.
and into cover.
Roger.
Overwatch.
I got my eyes on.
And now you are going to take a shot at that ugly alien son of a gun. Ooh! And it critted. Nice. Still didn't kill them, but that did a lot of damage. I like it. Alright, come on, Kella. That was a successful
Hostile
ambush.
neutralized.
Target
Might be
neutralized.
something we could use here.
And now concealment's blown. So we don't have to worry about trying to be too terribly sneaky. Let's see what that
Hacking in.
says. It's still the same thing. I think it's probably going to still be the same thing. Yep, still the same thing. Cancel. Let's move you up there.
Rolling out.
Stay there for the moment. You're gonna move up to here.
Got it. Moving.
Of course, you have to go and do the
Advent
whole.
troops here.
Oh, that was not smart of me. At least they aren't in flanking positions yet.
Moving to designated coordinates.
You move up there. Okay, good. You do have some eyes on. This is going to be risky, but I think we need to do it like this anyway. Lyrium Core, Advanced Scope, and Advanced and Alien Data Cache. That's a pretty nice
Tech
haul.
guys will love this.
And now I have
Attempting
to,
infiltration.
I'm going to have to go and try to, roll the dice. And fail. That's going to be painful. Yes, not exactly
Still
the
there.
best choice that I've ever made, but
Medic!
alright,
Need to find some new cover.
not dead yet. But probably will be dead
They're
now.
flanking my position.
And there goes my first squatty. Yep, I made a very, very bad
Get me
choice.
out of here, please!
Oh, and my sniper just decided to panic. And missed the shot. And now that he's panicking, he can't do anything else.
Closing on target position
I
now.
should have just overwatched. That was... I said that was, poor choice on my part.
Got it covered.
Go to Overwatch. your flank, so you need to
I'm
move
on
up.
the move.
Overwatch as well.
Covered.
Yep. Sectoid managed to not get.
Missed.
Oh. Both Overwatch shots miss.
Come on.
That's frustrating. And now the Sectoid is doing the next big thing that they do, which is...
No respite for the dead. The aliens have found a way to mind control them now.
Oh, they can mind control my units too? That's
I'm taking
upsetting.
fire.
Okay, so I got... Oh. So this is Olga. Alright.
Good copy.
Move
Moving
down
on
there.
target.
It's not a very... Still not get very good chance. Oh,
Adjusting
lovely.
sights.
Now, one thing to note is having a height advantage does confer accuracy bonuses. However, well... That's less than thrilling, but hey. Oh, seriously? Yep. What's the chance for me? 68% to actually hit them with a sword. Man, I cannot believe that I screwed it up it like that. But I did it, so no point in
Heading out.
complaining. And 80%, not a bad off chance.
Good riddance.
Now the zombies, they
Running
cannot
dry.
move very fast.
What? No! What's happening?
Oh, and
No!
they just panicked
This
my
isn't
trooper.
right! This isn't right!
Which, a good move, but they're still panicked. And now they're flanked by the sectoid. Who my sniper can't even shoot because the sectoid's not spotted anymore.
Rolling.
Ah, good. So, 17% to hit. 29% to hit. Which I guess offsets some by squad sight. It's got the defense, they still have high cover. Unfortunately, my sniper is the one that has the frag grenade, which isn't going to help very much against that sectoid at this distance. So I just have to shot, because this guy doesn't have the skill that allows Overwatch to trigger on squad sight.
On Overwatch.
And overwatching. And we have somebody who is attacking the transmitter.
I'm all right.
Good, good, good.
Looks like they called in backup.
Ah, nice. Glad you could join us again, Hing. We'll make a man out of you yet.
Headed there now.
Hopefully people will actually get that reference. Critical damage, nice, nice.
Burning through ammo fast.
I got no ammo, so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my trooper run up to here, and then attack the enemy with their sword. Just still not even a 70% chance to hit. You're running up and you're hitting them with a sword. Thank you. Yeah, I was about to say.
Target eliminated.
Now, we got the initial panic segment over with. That was stupid of me.
On my way.
Lost a trooper. Oh well. Moving my sniper up so that I have better chance to, or I have him in a better position. Oh, gee, thanks, Advent. I really wanted you to drop your squad right on top of my.
Damn it! Find some cover!
Oh, please don't shoot him! Please don't shoot him! Please don't shoot him!
The Advent officers seem more capable than the grunts.
Good.
We're not sure whether to chalk it up to training or stricter mind control.
I'm glad that they did not actually shoot them there, because that would have been upsetting. Well, mildly. Alright. What are my options? I can run over here, flank him, shoot him. I can have my my ranger can run up and slash this guy's face off. I can't quite get around cover where there's cover there. That'll give me a flanking shot on him,
Okay.
so... Again, 88% chance. That's also an 88% chance. And that's an 8.
On the move.
100% chance to hit, 100% chance to crit, but I might get a low damage roll. Hallelujah.
Enemies down.
Good, 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 good. But that's not...
It's down. Out of ammo here. Oh yeah.
90% is not too bad, I guess. Okay. So not a complete hash, but this is still going less than ideal. Reload there.
I'm ready.
they're just gonna have to get a couple of free turns at shooting on the, and that civilian runs up and clambers on top of the roof because they're scared. Go there and
objective here.
Ping.
Menace 1-5, we've got a line on the target. Move to protect that gear at all costs.
Let's get you a little closer to the action. Yeah, that'll also give you cover from being spotted, so that's handy. Okay. So we have... Did somebody place some shots on that?
It's killing time.
Once? It's killing time. But nobody's followed up on firing at it as of yet.
Now.
Okay. Olga. Come up here and scout.
Come get some.
And you do the same thing.
Affirmative, moving out. Got some advent here.
Okay, there we are. Ooh, hit somebody. Ah, the admin officer.
Come get some.
Alright. On Overwatch. Oh, that's something that the officers will do that's annoying. They will mark a target. And what marking a target does is it increases the... Let's see here. Oh, there's some way to look at that. Let me check the... I know. Being a total scrub. Having to go and look at the key binds. Thought there was a way that you could actually look at and see what the different effects on the target were. Now you can see it here. Oh.
On Overwatch.
Moving to Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch.
So, bit of an Overwatch fight here. Oh, good. He decided to move in and took some buckshot to the face.
Target disabled.
And so now my squaddy is no longer marked.
And confirmed.
Good, that,
Status confirmed.
Okay.
All hostiles are down and the area is secure.
Alright, not a
confirmed.
total
Mission
hash,
accomplished.
which, good night. I lost a soldier, the rating's still good. I mean, mission's complete, but that's not quite what I would call good. So yeah, we're returning back. One seat empty. As calculated risk, it just did not pay out. Of course, considering how I got surprised there after having moved two people to the extent of their moves, yeah, that was... I shouldn't have... Alright, so, as is always the best thing to do, no need to dwell too much on the mistakes. evaluate what happened, identify issues, identify what can be made better, and then move forward from there. In this case, I was still trying to move too fast when I had plenty of time. There was plenty of health on that transmitter that I didn't have to worry about rushing in to defend it right that second. I mean, yes, it was still about 2 moves away from where I was, but it hadn't come under attack, I think, 2 turns. If I'd moved up slowly, they may have actually gone after the transmitter initially, or that group may have gone after the transmitter initially, which would have given me a chance to move in a more advantageous manner and attack them from a position of strength, not from a position of desperation. So, power relay facilities provide plus 10 power capacity when built on the power coil. Unfortunately, both of the power coil or exposed power coils are on the bottom end, which take longer to clear out and longer to get to. You do not need to look quite so smug. Coming back 1 short. Alright, so we got promotions to be passed out. And 1 picture to hang on the wall. Alright. First one, I can do medical protocol, which can perform healing actions remotely and stabilize remotely. So the gremlin actually has 1 charge innately if I take this, 2 charges if I equip it with medkit. On the other side, I have combat protocol. What that does is my gremlin actually goes out, and it basically built up a electric charge and shocks the enemy. It'll do like 2 or 3 points of damage, but it's doubled against robotic enemies. So I think, Olga, you're going to at least become a little bit of a combat hacker. Now, Pink. We have 2 different skills. One is Blade Master. Makes them far more adroit with their sword, with their machete. Does 2 more damage, and is plus 10 to aim. Of course, that still only pushes the 2 hit chance that we had there, even without the people having the defense boost, to 98. That's still a 2% chance to miss. I think I will do Blade Master, at least for Ping. She feels really guilty about how wasn't able to save Jacinta. Now, the only thing that she wishes to do is close in and kill. Alright. Kellen Murphy. We can either make you a gunslinger, which means that it's getting a lot of buffs to your his sidearm, or it can pick Long Watch, which is more along the path of making him a true sniper. Return fire means if he gets shot at, he turns around and shoots back immediately. Free action. Or, I guess, a immediate response action. Whatever you want to call it. The point is, he doesn't have to do anything to cause it to happen. You also don't have to reload the pistol. So, you always have that available. However, if your sniper is routinely getting shot at, things are going very, very wrong. Long Watch, on the other hand, makes it so that Overwatch will trigger with squad sight. So if you can get a sniper into a very good position where he has long, clear sight lines, and you're using your troops, or you're basically using your other troops to scout forward for him, he can commit, or he can close off large portions of a map with Long Watch. And there's a later skill along for the snipers, which also allow for you to take multiple Overwatch shots, and to also set up where I think it's called Kill Zone, and it's like, let's say down here at the major level, next to last level, where so long as you have ammunition for your sniper rifle, you designate a zone, and anything hostile that moves through that zone, he takes a shot at till he runs out of bullets. Now, if I take a point in Gunslinger, that doesn't mean that I have to go down to Gunslinger the entire way. Same thing for taking Long Watch and all the sniper skills. You can mix and match. Same thing for all of the other soldier types. But in this case, I think Long Watch is the better choice. I might build a Pistolero later, but that's kind of, well, I guess that's kind of good that I gave him Long Watch over Return Fire, because these two troops got an extra health point. Murphy didn't. Alright, so that's 2 sectoid corpses, 5 trooper corpses, 2 officer corpses, an alien data cache, advanced scope, increases aim by 10. Might have to use that for a rifle for one of my rooks. And an Illyrium core. Those become useful and necessary for building some late game items. So now we've unlocked research for alien data cache. If we research this, it will give us a chunk of intel that we can use for different things. Cutscene.
Hello, Commander. The council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration, with one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the Resistance from the inside. It was these Resistance operatives that provided the intel leading to your recent extraction. As of now, Resistance forces are currently somewhat disorganized. If we are to defeat Advent and their alien masters, you must change this before it is too late. What you are seeing are classified reports of missing civilians from across the world. Their numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of Resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking. Good luck, Commander.
New objective added.
Alright, so now we are actually starting to get into the purpose behind our directed actions here with the Avenger. We are not just trying to build up a resistance network to fight back against the aliens, we're also trying to identify and stop whatever nefarious schemes Advent and the aliens are up to, which includes tracking down a black site, which will also necessitate us to expand our resistance network to the region that the black site is in, and then we're probably going to be assaulting said black site, which I'm sure is going to be a nice picnic and a walk in the park. That just takes me to here. Alright.
Hello, I've updated our latest operational objectives, Commander.
And yes, this is the shadowy council contact figure. Again, also in the prior game. Same voice actor. I think it's the same guy who does the epic movie voiceovers. So, another ally back in the fold. Recent successes, blah blah blah. But we get an engineer.
Now that we have more staff on the engineering team, we can start clearing out space for new facilities, Commander. We should keep looking for more recruits, though. We'll need them to staff the facilities once they're built.
Right. So I can either A, take an engineer and put them on the tactics school to build it faster, or I can actually have them clear out debris to get more room.
Commander, so far I haven't seen anything critical among the alien components left over in this area. If we clean this stuff out, we could probably use this space for a new facility.
Sounds good.
Excavation is underway, Commander, but it's going to take some time to get all that stuff cleared out.
So, that's going to take 5 days to get that finished clearing out. And then probably going to, unless I have another engineer, just keep on clearing out more and more stuff. However, that being said, I think this is a good breakpoint for this episode. So, see, back at the memorial, fallen soldiers, Squatty Krieger. First one to die, March 7th, 2035. Went on 2 missions, took out 1 trooper, and died in the process. Just make sure that the sacrifice was not in vain. That being said, this is Commander Daniels signing off. Keep frosty out there.